Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday. I hope you're well. I have to admit, I'm at the end of my tether with a small white dog that won't stop barking at things. Um, she just won't stop barking. She just won't stop barking, and I don't know what else to do. I love her. Obviously, I love her, and I know it's natural for a dog to want to bark, but every day for the last 4 days, from about 6 p.m. when it gets dark to the point she falls asleep at about 9 p.m., she just wants to be outside barking at things. And then you bring her indoors because you don't want her outside barking at things and annoying the neighbors. And then she just comes inside and presses the bell and wants to go back outside, and she just won't stop barking. And I don't want to be mad at her, but I don't want her to be barking. Oh god, she's driving me crazy. I think it's foxes. And we have a lot of foxes around here. And they definitely poop in our garden and steal her toys if they stay outside. But oh, good lord, she likes barking at them. Thank you, Catherine, for the comments on the lippy. I've just been recording the 12 Days of Clopmas, so I'm actually wearing a Christmas jumper, and there's tinsel all over the living room. Yes, Mackie's tried to eat it. Uh, yes, I'm a bit Christmased up because I've just filmed 12 little chapters and sent them off to the publisher to get them subtitled and ready for release over the next couple of weeks, which is exciting. I got up this morning and I went to bed last night thinking, do you know what? Last week was really hard work. I'm going to go easier on myself this week. I'm going to not try and achieve quite so much. I want an easier week, and yet somehow I still have only just finished everything I'm doing. Well, I haven't because I'm doing this, but now nearly there. Subtitled. Did you do your world famous accents? No, I don't do Klopp's accent. Chris will know this. I think Chris had the audiobook. I chose not to do Klopp's German accent, and I did my generic sexy man voice for him. Yes, I set up, I actually filmed them down in the lounge and set up a load of tinsel and fairy lights and my little reindeer by my side. I didn't do it up here because I borrowed some lights from a friend, so it all happened downstairs. But anyway, welcome to Monday. It's a bit of an odd chapter, actually, because you picked a person for Kate to have an argument with. And yes, a person won. And yes, and now that's had a knock-on effect that I can't quite deal with until the end of today's vote. So that's quite interesting, actually. I feel like tomorrow's is going to be quite an explosive chapter, and today's is a sort of in-betweeny chapter. Durkis, you'll have to get the audiobook to find out, but it's like this. Oh, hello, Laura. I'm very sexy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's my sexy voice. So there you go. Does the reindeer have a name? It doesn't, actually, but do you know what? It's one of the best pieces of tat I've ever bought. It's this it's this big reindeer, and then its legs are made of umbrella metal underneath, so they extend, so you can squash it down and have a compact one, or you could pull its legs and they all clunk, and then you get a nice tall reindeer. Oh my god, I literally pictured you doing sexy man voice with pursed lips. Yeah. Oh, I'm sexy man. You have to, otherwise you can't get the voice out. Oh yeah. Okay, fair enough, Turkish. You don't need to get it. That's my sexy man voice. So there you go. I'm sexy man. Laura, do what I say and I will be sexy. That's my voice. That's how sexy men talk. Did you not know? Oh, weirdos. Yes. So, who's the generic accent based on? I don't really know. Just sexy guys who talk like sexy guy men, like that. There you go. That's how to flirt. If you ever want to flirt with a strange woman, that's how you do it. Tom doesn't talk a bit like that. Sadly, you'll have to watch some Noise Next Door videos to find out how Tom talks. Right. Let's do chapter 11 then, shall we? Okay, so she's late to book club, and then she's on her way. You have never met anyone who talks like that? No. But maybe if more people did, I'd be pregnant by now. Okay. Chapter 11. Kate flew into the little room, panting, with her fringe stuck to her forehead with sweat. Everyone looked up kindly at her entrance, and she dropped into the plastic chair next to Polly. Polly patted Kate's leg with a slightly patronising, slightly dismissive air. Oh well, thought Kate, at least Polly had a reason to feel good about herself compared to Kate. Missed out the word good there. She was helping the universe in some way. She blinked her hair out of her eyes. Ewan had dropped her as close as he could, but the campus was sprawling, and she'd had to dash across the courtyard and what felt like several miles of buildings and stairs before she found the book club. Sasha smiled warmly at her across the room. Ah, Kate, Polly told us you got held up. Have a seat, catch your breath. Polly smiled magnanimously at Kate, clearly thrilled with herself for having saved Kate's behind from a scolding. Not that Kate felt like a scolding would have happened anyway. Wasn't this supposed to be for fun? It wasn't meant to feel like homework. Sasha didn't seem like the type to get stroppy if someone was late or hadn't done the reading, but then she was the host of a book club, and no one would run a book club unless they were a little doolally. So, Sasha continued, smiling round at everyone, Clara was just saying, Kate, that she found the dating of the book very obvious. Now, Clara was Geordie, wasn't she? Newcastle. That's right, Clara interrupted. I can totally feel that it was written quite a long time ago, and I think that kills some of the enjoyment for me. I find myself trying to concentrate on the differences between now, then, and the time it's set, trying to think of what the author means by things. That was all right, wasn't it? Like, I don't know if I'm just very tired, but that felt like 3 sentences that sort of came out in the right accent and I didn't have to go super falsetto. I'm quite pleased with that. I think maybe I'm getting better. Mystic, it was fine. I'm taking that to mean fine, like fine dining, rather than like it was fine. Damn is Inferno. That's all she wanted. Right. Oh, I'm pleased with that. I won't be able to say the next one, but that was all right, wasn't it? Kate frowned, trying to follow the logic of what Clara was saying, as well as trying to stop panting like a stuck pig. You're frowning, Clara said directly at Kate, and Kate jumped with shock, feeling a cold trickle of her dashing sweat run unpleasantly down her back. The intensity of Clara's gaze made her feel sure she was about to add some panic sweat to the moving sweat. How glamorous could one woman get? How could someone work out as much as she did and yet still have found that sprint across campus so difficult? Definitely back at the gym in the morning, she thought dismally. Oh, no, I was just working. No, hang on, we've stayed Geordie. Wales. All right. Oh, no, I was just working out what you meant, Kate smiled, scrabbling to explain her facial expressions. She attempted to smooth the frown off her forehead, too, appalled that she'd looked so scrutinizing. I was much clearer before. It's just you were late. Kate nodded, not enjoying the exchange at all. No, absolutely, I was late. Yes, no, I'm sure you were clearer. She frowned again, the furrow in her brow helping her brain to make connections. You're frowning again. So you do disagree? Good God, the woman was like a dog with a bone, Kate thought. She opened her mouth to argue and then decided against it. No, she did disagree, so why not say it? No, she couldn't say it, could she? But then, what was the point of being in a book club if you didn't say what you thought about the book? Well, actually, now that you mention it, yeah, I do disagree. No offense, I don't mean this personally. It's just literally how I feel about the book. I kind of think the themes and the behaviours are sort of timeless, especially given what Anne Rice went through. I think I found it pretty easy to switch off from the fact it was written so long ago. That's all. Yes, that's what I think. Kate stopped talking and looked around the circle, feeling pleased with herself for saying what she thought, but then instantly unsure she believed what she had said. It was a long time since she'd said that much out loud in front of strangers. Usually she just kept her head down and believed that if she didn't say anything in a meeting, then it meant the meeting was over quicker. She felt exhilarated from having said her piece. Well, perhaps it's because I'm older than you and I have a bit more life experience, so I'm more aware of these differences than you, Clara said, and Kate felt a little stab of annoyance through her chest. Whoa, That had got personal quickly. Oh, well, maybe, although, I mean, you don't really know what my life experience is. So, to her complete shock, Clara laughed and looked around the room at the others. Kate felt 2 inches tall. She opened her mouth to respond, but before she could say what she thought, she heard another voice very similar to her own jumping in. Sorry, I'm not being funny, but who the hell do you think you are? You have absolutely no idea what her life experience is, so don't go bringing all your assumptions to what's meant to be a nice book club. Clara gave an almost imperceptible shake to her head and then opened her mouth, but Polly was quicker. No, I'm not asking you to argue back. You owe my sister an apology. The atmosphere was frosty, to say the least. No one in the circle seemed to know what to say at all. Kate felt humiliated and also guilty. This was only their second time at the book club, and already they were causing issues. Why did trouble seem to follow her around? Sasha jumped in quickly to remedy the situation. Hey, listen, disagreements on the book are fine. That's what we're here for, after all, but I think we should try and keep all shots above the waist and firmly on the topic of the book. Yes, Clara? Clara raised her eyebrows and sniffed. Kate decided she loathed her. The second they got in the car to drive back down the hill towards their homes, Polly exploded. Kate was alarmed at how often her hands were flying off the steering wheel, and she was certain a hedge had actually moved out of their way to avoid getting squashed in a post-Clara fury. I'm sorry, but I will not have her speaking to you like that. No way. What an absolute bitch. If that Sasha wasn't so nice, I'd have torn her a new one. How dare she suggest you don't have any life experience? She doesn't know anything about you. Just because you're a bit of a shambles, that doesn't give her the right to assume anything about you. You're doing the best you can considering everything. Yes, yeah, you could have a better job or a boyfriend or a house or a plan, but just because you don't have any of those things doesn't mean any of it's a problem. That bitch. Kate started laughing, and then found that no matter how hard she tried to get it under control, it was impossible. She laughed and laughed. Only her sister could defend her and accidentally be worse to her than the person she was defending her from. Kate laughed until tears poured down her face and her abs ached. Polly looked over at Kate as frequently as the heavy traffic would allow. What are you laughing at? Are you laughing at me? Polly squawked. Kate! Let me in on the joke. I want to laugh. Katie! Eventually, Kate's laughing prompted a waterfall effect from Polly, and she started to giggle along with the snorting and chuckling coming from the passenger seat. They pulled into Polly's driveway, both killing themselves together. Eventually, Kate pulled herself together enough to look around outside the window and notice where they were. What are we doing here? I thought you were taking me home. Oh, sod that. I need a glass of wine. I'll get you a cab later. Kate shrugged. She was sure Ewan would have plenty of unpacking and settling in to do, so wouldn't mind that his new housemate had left him all alone for an evening. Perhaps he had one of his girlfriends round. Kate looked at Polly, wondering whether to tell her about the snake or the trio. She decided probably not. Polly was traditional. They slumped on the sofa with glasses of wine that technically should have been called 2 glasses of wine each. Ryan appeared for a quick wave and then immediately disappeared when he saw the glasses of wine. Up to his office. Polly rolled her eyes and took a big gulp. End of chapter. So, here you go. Here's your, a bit in the inside of my mouth, that's annoying. Here is your question for tomorrow. You have to choose a household item. Your choices are mobile phone, computer, television, or keys. Those are your options, and they will have a huge effect. So be careful. I can't wait to read your essays. Mobile phone, computer, TVs, or keys. And that is going to shape how the rest of this conversation between Polly and Kate goes. Have fun deciding, and I will see you guys at 10 p.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and have a lovely Tuesday. Mwah! Big love. Bye.